of goodies and yummy stuff this hour. Debbie Meyer is joining us, and we're so glad to have you back. This is, you know, we talk about the things that we're eating this holiday season, which is pies, but for most of us, pies are something that we are eating the entire year. Exactly. I've never taken out a slice of pie, and for me, whether it's the first slice or the last slice, it's a mess by the time I get it to my plate. Debbie Meyer has changed the game when it comes to slicing it and serving your pie.
It looks completely different than any other pie server you have ever looked at before.
It really
does. When
you
see this blade, you see it looks different from the side. Let me show you what it does first, and then I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
So come on in here. This is an apple pie, and like I said, in my house, pie season is all season long.
Every Sunday when people stop by,
all summer. And remember, you don't have to bake it. It can be store-bought, and these are store-bought. I would love to have baked, but you know, I'm here at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so what you do with mine is a little bit different. I go in with the point, just like this, and then I use the back of the cutter to actually cut through the back crust.
The crust, okay.
To make sure that that back crust is cut. So you've gone in this way.
Okay.
Then you just go like, oh, I'm gonna cut you a nice sized piece of pie, right?
I like it.
Okay, so you see how beautifully that cut through.
Perfect.
Now, I want you to watch something because it's a little different.
Okay.
I'm not going straight in from the back, I'm going from the corner.
Oh.
And because of the flexible blade, I get under there and I scoop toward the side and I lift up.
Stop it.
That piece of pie.
That looks like something you see in a picture. No. I've never sliced a piece of pie like that before in my life.
There's a beveled edge on this, so it slid right off. There's a beautiful piece of pie. There's only one runner there. There was one piece of apple that slid out from the side, but look at that, the pie pan.
Perfectly clean.
Absolutely clean from the bottom.
Oh my gosh. Hey, by the way, before we go on, this is normally $24.95. Today, it's a full $10 off, and you get 2 of them.
See that? Sideways. I go from the side. I'm going to put this aside.
Okay, let's take that. Who's ready for pie? We're serving it up. How proud to serve that pie that's so beautiful in the presentation.
I just slid from under the side of that pie instead of from the back. And I got beautiful pie. Everything's out of the pie pan. And when I do pies at home, I actually do a pie table. And I like to have different pies.
My mom does that too.
You can actually pre-cut pies if you wish and put my pie server in it, my pie cutter in it, because that way people can help themselves and they don't get embarrassed.
I'm so glad you said that, because I feel like when I'm at somebody's house, I'm tearing apart their dessert table because I can't get the pie out.
And you feel bad because you know you don't want to be the one who comes up with the mush and you know you destroyed the bottom of the pie. Maybe somebody made their famous cherry pie for Thanksgiving, let's call it this time, but frankly, cherry pie for me is, I can do this in the middle of the summer, middle of the winter.
Exactly.
Watch, under, and that's a gooey crust.
Look at that.
Watch me come up. I'm going to get right up through the center.
So see how the handle is actually to the side? And it's so comfortable to use because it's got that silicone grip. It's got little places for your thumb.
Look how beautiful that pie is. Look at how clean that pie plate is.
You know what's great about this is that you get 2. So if you're thinking, okay, well, I only need 1, keep 1 for yourself. Perfect hostess gift right here. Maybe you go to someone's house and you take a pie. Take the pie cutter as well. Leave the pie cutter. Everyone eats the pie. It's the perfect gift. And look how pretty that looks. Both of
the set of 2 comes in this box. You could take 1 out and give 1 as a gift. Wrap it like that. The other thing I like to do is, because they come in a white box like this, I just have gift bags. And I pop 1 in a gift bag and I take it with me wherever I go. I bring a pie, leave my pie cutter behind. They are top rack dishwasher safe when you do this. You take the handle off.
Easy.
The blade is, and I call it a blade. Let me explain to you, this is a nylon blade. It's not sharp. Anybody can use this safely. It's flexible. It has a beveled edge, and the reason, I'm gonna put the handle back on, the reason that I move the handle off this way is because many pies are very deep. If your handle is in the middle, you can't get into that pie.
You can't get in there, especially when you're slicing a big slice like I
Let's take another piece of cherry pie, because I'm going to show you that it's not just the first piece, it's the second piece, it's every piece.
It's the whole pie.
And of course, you can cut a piece as wide as this, and it would be absolutely fine. So you go in, you point down, you just get through that crust, you break the back crust, and you go from the side so that you are actually, see how I slid sideways under that?
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful piece of pie.
cut perfectly every time. So imagine when everyone comes over to your house this holiday season, you're serving up the pie. It's so much faster. It looks beautiful, the presentation on it.
It's prettier.
It's just so smart. And I mentioned it's taken us since August to get these back. So we've got them back. It's a full $10 off. We were talking about this before the show. You just, if you eat pie, if you're serving pie to any of your guests, you have to have this. It's just a smarter option to any other pie cutter, pie server out there.
You know what? Nobody ever changed the way we serve pie. I changed the way you cut and serve cake with my cake cutters.
Which
and
we love.
Everybody loves those. And everyone kept on saying to me, solve the pie problem. My problem's really... Now,
spent all day
you did
making
cake, do pie. So I did. And what I did was simply make it easier for everybody, because I made it easy for myself first. I wanted a way to get through that bottom crust without cutting through. You know what? How many times have you had a pie pan like this and you've cut through the pie pan?
Oh, I lost count. I mean, we all do that exact same thing.
So I didn't want to cut through the pie pan. I wanted to make it simple for anybody to serve themselves a gorgeous piece of pie. Look at my pie. It's absolutely perfect. I don't have to, you know, I don't destroy your cake with my cake cutters. I don't destroy your pie with my pie cutters. If I want to pre-cut this pie and leave the pie cutter in place, I can do that so people can help themselves easily. But look how gorgeous that looks.
It's perfect.
It's like
just makes
pie for breakfast, everybody.
Exactly.
Okay,
it makes serving the pie so much easier. And of course, during the holiday season, we're going to be using this so much with the pumpkin pies and the pecan pies and all the pies. But for a lot of us, we're serving pie year round. This just makes it cleaner, easier, faster, and it just makes the presentation that much better. Because we eat with our eyes. We want it to be perfect on the plate, and this is how you do it.
If you have pumpkin pies, if you have custard pies, anything like that, it's absolutely perfect.
And it'll work. You can do a nice size.
Look at that.
Not a little sliver. You can actually
cut
get a
a small
good
one
size
if you want to.
But no, I'm not. I would
look at
never.
the size of that.
I would never. I'm saying I like that.
I'm sorry, you want it
large.
bigger. Okay. But you see that slice of pie is the width of this cutter.
Yeah.
When you cut with an ordinary cutter, you take the chance of not only cutting through the plate if you're using one of these aluminum pans, which are absolutely fine. You can actually now feel good about bringing a store-bought pie to your table.
That's the truth.
It doesn't bother me to have that pie pan. It's sparkly, as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
It's silver.
Oh, I like that you put it on the presentation
But if you
plate.
cut through it, you end up with the juices running out.
Right.
So you see, again, point down, simply going through the crust. I break that back crust and get under, front, slide, and up. Now that's a cherry pie, and you know how gooey cherry pies are. You know how soft the bottom crust is, and I've got the entire bottom crust. I didn't lose a single piece of crust, which frankly, is one of the parts I really love.
So I think so many of us we're not used to seeing a pie slice like this. Normally, it's kind of a mess, and then you scoop out what's left in the pie pan and put it next to it on the side.
Or you try and cover it up with whipped cream.
Exactly. Which is good. We all do that.
But you don't want to do it just because your pie looks terrible, right?
Exactly. And it's the easiest thing to care for as well, because all you do is pull it apart and put it on the top shelf of your dishwasher. So it's not like it's something that's difficult to clean. And it's just one of those things that we all eat pie. This is the best way to slice it. You got to get it home. And you get 2 of them for the price, by the way. Even though it's $10 off, you're still getting 2 of them today.
So you will get 2 in the box you receive. If you want to give one as a gift, take one out of the box and give the box just like that. Like I told you just a moment ago, this is what I like to do. I keep gift bags in the house. So the box is a plain white box. Just slide it into a gift bag, take that along with a pie in your hand, and you become the star of the next party. I've got another apple pie here. I'm going to cut it in here so I can show you that first piece slice again. You're going to go into the pie. You're going to get through that crust. See what a sugary crust that is? Those always stick. Always.
They do, yeah.
I'm going to get back in here.
See how it's not sticking to
and
the side
did you notice that
all?
I'm not breaking off the back crust as well? Usually you lose this back crust. It cracks off because it's too sticky. I'm going to get under this one and out. Look at that. I'm going to put it on the plate. It's gorgeous. And look at that.
Perfect slice every time.
And in fact, I'm going to show you, this is an extremely sticky crust. This one was even stickier than the first one.
Exactly, yet it came out perfectly.
It came out perfectly. I really, you know, when I bake pies, I do all the fluting around the edges. I make the fancy pie crust, make them pretty. when you go to cut it, it breaks off.
I know.
And then you're trying to stick it back on the pie. You know.
And then the whipped cream comes in and you cover that up.
That doesn't work very well.
You know, and I love the idea of keeping one for yourself and then giving one, taking that gift pie to somebody, putting a bow around this, but when the pie is gone, they still have that incredible.
And they'll think of you all year long. Remember,
they're eating pie.
It's safe for kids. It's safe for anybody to use it. Anybody can master this. That's why I did it. Easy.
Genius. Genius. It just makes life easier having this. Thank you so much for bringing this back today.
I am delighted to be here. And hi, everybody.
And it's taken us several months to get this back, so if you want this for the holiday season, I would jump in and get your orders in on that. Now, if you haven't heard, Wolfgang Puck is back.